Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Garza. I had the privilege of interviewing a female who lives here in Midland. She's 65 years old, married, has been married for 40 years. She is a stay-at-home mom. She's been a stay-at-home mom for many years after she raised her children. Her and her husband own several properties. So she stays busy managing her properties, renting different forms of housing to different families that may be economically disadvantaged. Some are new to the country. So she's able to provide resources, sometimes transportation, translation services, just to make sure that those families are receiving things that they should be receiving and have access. She was very hesitant initially to be part of the interview because she wasn't sure who was going to have access or be able to read the information that she wanted to share with me, because she wanted to be honest and truthful. She is a Christian woman who does depend a lot on her testimony in terms of letting people know that whatever the choices they've made, their lives can change. She was born to a single mother. She did point out through questioning that she very much lived the life that her mother lived, and she didn't know that she wanted better for her kids, but later there was some regret in how she raised her children, because her daughter, who she only had one daughter out of 5 children, also lived the life that she lived in terms of leaving the home early, having children super early, not finishing their education, and struggling with making the right choices and being able to direct them based on their own experience. I really focused on object relations theory because it was, for me, applicable in each stage of her life. How she developed those relationships, how she saw her mom develop relationships, and how that really defined how she was able to create those relationships, whether it was with boyfriends, husbands, paramours, whether it was with children, whether it was her own relationship with her mother when she was growing up compared to what it was until recently, because she did recently pass away. She was really able to focus on things that happened in the past and how she was able to apply that to her life now in terms of lessons learned, and how she was able to guide her children even in their older age as they navigate their marriages and their relationships with their children based on her past experiences and how she's been able to relate that and organize it better for herself and for the advantage of her family and her children. She did go through trauma, whether that was being sexually abused by a family member, trauma in terms of domestic violence in her relationships, trauma witnessing domestic violence that her mother experienced with her boyfriends, paramours, common law husband, and how that really changed their lifestyle, what they were able to provide for. She spoke about how she was very poor, heavily relying on government assistance, public assistance, and how she really prides herself now being able to do for others, something that she never really got to experience in terms of her family or individuals helping the family when she was growing up. That's also translated into her missionary work with her husband in Mexico. They fully fund a church in Ojinaga, and try to share again their experiences in a spiritual realm to reach those who are just seeking that guidance and direction, and also providing food. They do several food dispensary days or events there at their church. They don't pastor it, but they do provide for it 100% financially. So not only has she changed how she helps and guides her children, but also the community. And it may not be her direct community because she was born and raised and doesn't have any family in Mexico, but her husband does. And that also shows how she was able to relate and be sympathetic and show empathy, but as well as love through her spirituality for others. I really enjoyed speaking with her, and gave me a different perspective on her past, her struggles, and that she felt just because you're born into one situation doesn't mean that you're stuck there. And so that was my interview. Thank you.